Saskatchewan. 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 Me. Saskatchewan. The bread basket. The bread basket of Canada. Big Sky Country. Big Sky Country.
Eldon?
Oh man, come on. You've got to be finding more interesting stuff. What's with all this wheat field stuff?
I guess you got the tape we sent you. That's our first bit of Saskatchewan footage. Beautiful, isn't it?
It's boring, okay? Where is the action? Where is the adventure? Okay, where is the...
Saskatchewan is full of action and excitement. It's not just all wheat fields, you know. Trust us. Besides, the wheat fields are so beautiful, so peaceful and calming.
Yeah, the wheat fields are... beautiful. They're so peaceful. So wheaty.
Eldon? Eldon? Hello?
Fields of wheat. I've never felt so calm.
I think we lost him. Oh well, we'll just have to carry on without him.
Right. So where was I? Ah, yes. Saskatchewan, also known as the bread basket of...
Wait, Sid. I think we could do this much better. Yeah! It's the rootinest, tootinest Wild West show this side of tarnation. We're gonna rustle up some horses and go on patrol around the Cypress Hill uplands. Then we're gonna mosey on over to Fort Walsh to see how the lawmen dealt with the Canadian Wild Wild West. And we're gonna check out some of the Wild West and explore some cattle rustler hideouts in the big muddy Badlands. So saddle up, move 'em out, and hold on to your hats. We're in for a bumpy ride. Yee-haw! So, what'd you think?
Saskatchewan.
Geographic Kids.
We're in the Cypress Hills uplands of Saskatchewan.
The name Saskatchewan comes from the Cree word Saskatchewan, meaning swiftly flowing river, in reference to the Saskatchewan River.
Even though the province produces 54% of all the wheat in Canada, it's definitely not just wheat fields.
That's right, Saskatchewan contains portions of two major natural regions. To the south, the interior plains, also called the prairies, and to the north, the Canadian Shield.
The Cypress Hills uplands got their name because early French explorers thought these trees looked like the jack pine in eastern Canada and called the area Montagne de Cyprès, or Mountains of Jack Pine. Turns out that these are not jack pine, but lodgepole pine.
Hey, Sid and Edie. Hey, guys.
Hey, how you doing?
Great. It's nice to see you, Melody.
Yeah, welcome to Cypress Hills Interprovincial Park. Caitlin, Bryn, and I are going on park patrol today. Would you like to join us?
Absolutely.
For sure.
Oh, great. Let's go.
So Melody, why is this forest in the middle of the prairies?
Well, good question, Sid. But the Cypress Hills in Saskatchewan is the only location in the province of Saskatchewan that has lodgepole pines. And we're surrounded by a grassland sea, a prairie. But this area, because of its higher elevation, similar to some of the elevations around the Banff area in Rocky Mountains, hosts a cooler climate and a little more moisture than the surrounding prairies, which can support a lodgepole pine forest.
So lodgepole pines are like more of a high elevation tree. They don't really grow in lowland areas?
Right. They like the higher elevations with cooler climates, more moisture, and they also like the rocky cobblestone soil, which provides a lot of drainage for the lodgepole pines. This is a drainage divide, similar to the Rocky Mountains, only we divide waters flowing north and south. And so we have a lot of stream beds which support a lot of vegetation growing in along the streams and the ponds that form there.
Oh, the view is magnificent.
It's spectacular. So Melody, why are these hills so high up in the middle of the prairies?
Good question, Sid. Well, we've got a long history of glacial activity and sedimentary deposits here that's occurred over millions of years. And originally there was a lot of sediments being deposited here by huge rivers that pass through this area. Then we've had glacial periods that have gone by, and the last period of glaciation ended about 14 to 16,000 years ago. That period of glaciation came from the north, and the glacier butt up against this area here, which was already somewhat elevated. And when the glacier retreated, it carved out the prairies below, leaving the Cypress Hills standing that much higher than before.
Wow. We're so high up that it looks like I can just see forever.
Yeah.
That's right. You can see on a clear day 100 kilometers or more from the top of the Cypress Hills across the prairies.
Check out this view. We are at the top of Bald Butte, the highest point in the center block of the park.
According to the Geopad, we are 1,360 meters above sea level. Pretty incredible, huh?
Yeah.
You guys afraid of heights?
No. Not really.
The area of Cypress Hills rises at points to the height of 1,466 meters, giving it the highest elevations between the Rockies and Labrador.
The top layer of Cypress Hills is cobblestone.
But here at Conglomerate Cliffs, the cobblestones are cemented together.
That's right, guys. The cobblestones are cemented in an agent called calcium carbonate. And when that seeps through the soil and is exposed to the air, the cobblestones are cemented, forming the Conglomerate Cliffs.
CGK Kids.
Cypress Hills is the only interprovincial park in Canada. Interprovincial means that it spans more than one province. From here in Saskatchewan
To here in Alberta. Now we're in
Alberta?
Saskatchewan. Now we're in Alberta. Now we're in Saskatchewan. Now we're in Alberta. Hey, I'm in Saskatchewan and Alberta. And to think, I'm always telling Eldon that we can't be at two places at once.
Hey, speaking of Eldon, have we heard from him since his last disappearing act?
Nope.
Well, maybe we should give him a call. Eldon?
Eldon.
Eldon, are you there?
Sweetie goodness. So pretty.
Look, I can hear him, but he sounds, I don't know, like he's hypnotized or something.
He's crazy. He's talking about really goodness.
Don't worry about it. He'll snap out of it. Besides, we've got some lawmen and cattle rustlers to check out. Yeehaw!
Eldon? Eldon, say something. Eldon.
We are here at Fort Walsh National Historic Site of Canada, located on the west side of Cypress Hills Interprovincial Park of Saskatchewan, and home to the Northwest Mounted Police.
They were established here to gain control of the Canadian West, and later became the Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
of a jail here.
That's right, this is the guardhouse.
And I noticed that your cells are really small. Is that like one person per cell, or?
Actually, 2 or 3 men in one of those at a time.
You're kidding. In these small spaces?
Hey, why don't you check it out?
No.
Yeah, like old times.
All right. Now let me out.
You shouldn't have stolen horses.
Okay. What? Sid, are you locking it? Guys, come on. I want my lawyer.
So this is the armory. And this guy in here had a big responsibility taking care of all these guns for everybody here. So taking care of the guns for about 150 men.
Wow, and what kind of gun are we looking at right here?
This is called a 9-pound field rifle. So it's 2 of these guns at Fort Walsh, as well as 4 7-pound mountain guns. Same type of thing, just a little bit smaller.
And how far would this thing shoot?
They said they're accurate about 2,200 yards.
Wow, this is quite an amazing room. Hey, what happened to you?
It's Triviography time. Today's question is, what is a coteau? I'll give you a hint. It's not another word for jacket.
I better grab my coteau.
And it's not a famous underwater explorer.
I am Jacques Cousteau, famous underwater explorer. And I am very, very lost.
So what is a coteau? We'll tell you a little bit later on in the show.
CGK.
What are you doing?
I think Eldon really needs help. We haven't talked to him in days, and I just have this funny feeling.
The funny feeling is those clothes you've been wearing for 3 days straight. Eldon doesn't need our help. Besides, have you forgotten we have a show to finish?
Look, I'm telling you, I have a real funny feeling. Call me.
Just do your laundry. The funny feeling will go away. How am I supposed to do a show all by myself? I'll be doing this show all by myself. Welcome to the big muddy Badlands. This doesn't seem right. Wait a sec. During the last ice age, most of northern Saskatchewan was covered by a thick sheet of ice, but southern Saskatchewan wasn't. As the ice from the north started to melt into the south, it created this gigantic, huge prehistoric lake called Lake Agassiz. Most of southern Saskatchewan, including the Big Muddy, used to be part of that lake bed. This low area tilts slightly eastward towards Manitoba and acted as a meltwater channel. That means it carried enormous amounts of melting glacier water towards the south and then east. All that moving water caused massive erosion, and that erosion created amazing land formations. Remember Bald Butte? Well, this is what a butte looks like from down below. A butte is a round, flat-topped hill. This one is called Castle Butte. And deep gullies and channels like these are called coulees. Rock and sediment deposits in the valley are called hoodoos. And it all creates a landscape like this, perfect for hiding horse thieves and their stolen horses. Burgess Ranch. Over 100 years ago, this ranch was the focal point for both sides of the law, as outlaws went back and forth between the Canadian and United States border on the Outlaw Trail. are just about to meet Lane, who's an 18-year-old rancher here who's going to tell us all about the Outlaw Trail. Hi, Lane.
How's it going?
Pretty good. So, Lane, how long has your family been living here?
Well, my great-grandpa moved out from Ontario in 1937, so I've been here a long time.
Wow, so how many generations of Burgesses is that?
That's 4 generations, I'm the 4th.
So, Lane, tell me a little bit about the Outlaw Trail.
Well, it came all through this valley, set up by Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and Dutch Henry's gang went on it a lot.
So I've often heard it compared to the Pony Express. What was that?
It was a mail trail that went east and west in the United States. And this was a lot like this, but it went north and south because they're always trying to get the horses and cattle out of the United States into Canada or Mexico where they could sell them.
So the trail actually went all the way down to Mexico?
Oh, yeah.
So
Yep.
cowboys would be stealing horses in the United States, taking it to Mexico,
Yep.
and also to Canada?
Oh, yeah. And then they'd come up here and sell them. Then they'd steal some more horses, and they'd fly across the border. And knowing all these guys in the south needed horses because they had their stole, they'd sell them back there for a good price.
Clever
Yeah,
thieves,
it was.
So how come these outlaws weren't getting caught?
Because they knew some people around here. The guy who lived in this yard, everybody, all the farmers knew. They didn't mess with him. He'd lay out different signals so they couldn't catch him. If the mounted police were going west, they'd throw a red blanket on the line. So that outlaws just kind of peeked over the hill, said, no, we're going east today.
So that was their little signaling to one another, eh?
And they had tons. They'd tip over a rain barrel, anything they could.
So tell me, did these outlaws hide out anywhere?
Well, the Sam Kelly Caves have been known to harbor a few outlaws and different places, anywhere they wanted to stop. They see a rancher's house, so we're stopping here tonight, and they didn't care.
That's awesome, because we are checking out the Sam Kelly Caves. The Big Muddy was the only Canadian stop on the Outlaw Trail, used by some of the most notorious outlaws in the Wild West. Sid is really missing out this time. I wonder what he's doing right now anyway.
Hello?
Hey Sid, you're really missing out. I'm in the Big Muddy Badlands and I'm just about to go into some outlaw hideout caves.
Cool. Well, I've seen road.
I bet you haven't heard of Sam Kelly.
Yeah, I read something about him in the Geopad. Hey, wasn't he a horse thief?
He wasn't just a horse thief. He was one of the most notorious outlaws in the Big Muddy. In fact, he was born in Nova Scotia. His real name was Charles Nelson, and he came out west to be a big bad outlaw. In fact, I'm standing outside his gang's favorite hideout, the Sam Kelly Caves.
If you called to make me jealous, it worked.
I'm just doing my job. Say hi to Eldon for me.
You bet.
CGK.
These caves are abandoned wolf dens. The smaller ones are big enough to hold people, and the larger ones can hold up to 12 horses. So what was the notorious Mr. Sam Kelly doing here?
Well, him and the Wild Bunch would often pass through here. With the border being so close, the posses couldn't catch him here if they stayed here and hid down. They could fit all their horses in here, and they had enough room in the other cave for them to sit out a night or two if they had to.
And how come the RCMP or the Mounted Police didn't find them here?
Well, and at that time, there's a lot more brush along here, so all they'd have to do is cover it. This hole actually was only came halfway here. You could fit your horses in here and put the brush up. Even one tree would hide it enough that they could hide it really easy with even a little plant.
And I see there's like carvings and stuff on the wall. Are there any that are really old? Or?
Yeah, there's one over here that's older. It's Pete 1901 right here, and that's the only really one we know of that's probably original.
Yeah? Who do you think left it?
Well, Coyote Pete, I would assume. He was the brother to Dutch Henry. He ran a lot through here.
Wow. Dutch Henry, Coyote Pete. I feel like I need a cowgirl name. Any suggestions?
No, I can't think of any.
Edie. Edie's so sweetie. That'll be my cowboy name. What do you think?
That's not a cowboy name.
You know, regardless, I still had a great time talking about the Outlaw Trail.
It's been fun.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Take care.
Thank you.
When Sam Kelly decided to retire from being an outlaw, he stayed on in the Big Muddy and bought a ranch where he took care of cattle that he actually paid for. He died in 1937 with his boots off.
Hello?
It's that time! Triviography time! And I thought you might like to help out with the answer.
Sure. Today's question is, what is a koto? Hey Edie, are you standing in front of a koto?
I am.
A koto is the vertical side of a valley and the divide between two valleys.
That's right. Kind of like a camel's hump. That's a koto.
CG Kids is on the World Wide Web. Find out even more about all the incredible places that we visit on CG Kids. Just click on our website to find games, contests, and a lot more fun facts about our amazing country. Check it out!
I wonder if Sid's with Eldon yet. I better check in. Hello, Eldon, you there? Sid? Saskatchewan is so awesome.
Oh, that wheat. Look at that wheat is so nice. What the? Hello, that's somebody that's there for me?
Eldon?
Hey, Sid. What's going on?
Eldon?
Hey, what? Hey, you know what? You would not believe the reception on this telephone. Truly, it is as if you are in the same... What? Ah! I've been transported to Saskatchewan. My whole office has been transported to Saskatchewan. It must be that wheat on the television. Oh, that's incredible.
No, Eldon. I came to find out why you haven't been answering your telephone.
Eldon, where have you been?
Well, I might ask you the same question, okay? Just sending Sid over here to bother me?
Eldon, Saskatchewan is awesome. You are gonna love this episode.
No. Saskatchewan is boring, okay? I almost went comatose watching that wheat field, okay? We are going to turn kids into wheat-watching zombies or something.
But Eldon, it's not just wheat.
Hey, wait a minute. I just got it. What we need is some outlaws, okay? People who steal cows. Yeah, but they don't have any land because it's all taken, so they go to the ocean. And they let them be swimming cows. And those cows, they eat seaweed instead of grass. And they grow tails and you can eat them. Like sushi. Sushi cows.